My name is Bill Durgin. I'm an artist and photographer, an amateur designer. I'm also a father. I've been photographing the human form for almost 2 decades, and through working with it, I've been building sets, which also brought me a little bit into furniture design. And this has been a great opportunity to kind of meld the two and bring it together. I find inspiration for my photography kind of everywhere. I'm always surprised when sort of an idea comes to me, but it's rarely from actually looking at photography. I'll find it often looking at sculpture in museums, or even walking down the street and seeing a gesture or some movement of a body that's kind of unexpected, and the juxtaposition with it and the sculpture around. My approach to photography is to use the camera as a tool to sort of frame a situation. And I make use of the monocular view, so it's very two-dimensional, and keep everything within the frame. It doesn't have a narrative. It's more of a juxtaposition of bodies and space, and very architectural, spatial, but in some ways just a singular sculptural. In a way, it's like a collage within the camera. Working with Larry was a wonderful opportunity. Always fell in love with his work, and he happened to be one of the greatest teachers I ever had, and any one of his students would say the same. I also had the opportunity to assist him on some commercial shoots, which was kind of fun. Aside from Larry, I draw inspiration from sometimes some particular bodies of work. It's often singular photographs and sculptures, but Edward Weston's use of the body and the way he shows light was very inspirational. Cindy Sherman's use of creating for the camera and creating these dramatic scenes from almost nothing is incredibly inspiring. And then I get into looking at a lot of sculptures from some contemporary sculptors like Rebecca Warren, to iconic ones like Brancusi. I've always been fascinated with the body, and I've always kind of worked with it a little bit. In the beginning of my career, I stayed away from nude bodies because of the stigma attached to it. I didn't want to photograph bodies to look sort of sexy or anything. I wanted to use the body as a sculptural form. And once I started getting into that, staying away from anything full frontal, but to contort the body to be more of a sculptural object. The use of light is very important to me. I'm always drawn to natural window light in architectural spaces. Often that light isn't bright enough, and it changes as the day goes on. So throughout the years, I've sort of crafted ways of recreating something similar to natural light, and a way to sort of illuminate the space and darken different spaces to accentuate the body and the areas of the photograph. When I was first approached about this campaign, I was very excited to incorporate contemporary furniture and bodies. It was something that it's kind of a little bit of a dream job. And as we were getting into it, we knew we had to stay away from specific designers, but we wanted to give the sense of contemporary design. So we went straight to raw materials. The raw materials that are used: recycled plastic, metal, wood. And we started with a broad range and focused it down to a few very important materials. And then we got into the shapes and how the human body can interact with them. Being somewhat of a builder and maker, I was mainly interested in making a photograph. And I'm a bit of a control freak, and a minimalist. So starting with a blank slate and creating a photograph from an empty room and adding objects is a great pleasure to me. Salone del Mobile represents sort of the most exciting contemporary furniture fair in the world. I've never gotten a chance to actually go to it, so I'm kind of excited this time. It's just where all the best contemporary designers showcase their new work. My first reaction was that this is a dream job and it was made for me and I have to get it. And I am so excited I did. The idea of bringing bodies and design together is just in my nature. Every photograph is a challenge in a way. In this campaign, the biggest challenge is just getting everything to come together. We're going to be doing very tight shots. We want to get the sense of the human factor as well as the sense of design. They are equally important. So it's going to be framing and moving, and there'll be some improvisation during the shoot. The hardest aspect is honing down exactly what we want to use and which bodies we want to use with it.